Hey folks, how's it going? We're checking out more Micky Flanagan. I always enjoy this dude's stuff. Everything he does cracks me up, man. One of my favorites is still the what do you call French people are lazy one. That one cracked me up. Also, guys, don't forget I'm still on the road to 100,000 subscribers. So if you like this video, make sure you subscribe. If you don't like it, that's cool. Just continue to come back and watch it. Maybe one day I'll earn your subscription with one of my videos. Or check out any of my other ones. So let's go ahead and jump into it, man. Let's get a good laugh from Micky.
I'm going to talk about sex for a little while. Strap in. Isn't it funny now? Sex, everyone's fucking gone sex mad, haven't they? Every time are you having the best sex? Are you having the longest sex? You having the fucking hardest sex? Woo! I blame pornography. Consumption of pornography. It's got out of hand. You couldn't get it in the 70s. You couldn't get it. It was illegal. Men had to go to a dirty cinema, didn't they? They got a Mac and cut the pockets out of it. And they used to have a pair of trousers that they cut the top bit off and just tied it above their knees. You're thinking he knows a lot about this, doesn't he? But no. They were called the Dirty Mac Brigade, and they'd go in the cinema, right, and put their hands in their pockets. They'd see like a manual 2 or something, have a proper polish.
Gross.
It's what men did. I'm giving it to you in the street here, people. And you get to the 80s. Sadly, much more common pornography because you had people we got the video recorder turned up, didn't it? And suddenly you could get a film. Every factory, every warehouse had a bit of a nonce in it. Geezer who reproduced them. In our factory, it was a geezer called Colin the Polisher. He'd come up and go, I've got some films, Mick, for the weekend, got some films. They're blinding. They're from the continent. He only had 3 teeth. Fuck me. Mahogany, yew and dark oak. And use him as a colour chart. Do you want the mahogany, the dark oak? He was a proper nonce. Do you want a film for the weekend? And what you did was you got the film for the weekend, £3, something like that, and you took it home and you plied the wife with Martini the Bianco. Right? And then about 10:30, 11, you went, I've got a film in work, babe. I don't know if you fancy watching it. I've got it in work. It might be good, worth watching. You put the film on, suddenly you're watching a man with a huge donger go on for hours. And you're thinking, this might have backfired a little bit. This is not natural, babe, is it? The way that man's shaping up, I don't think it's very well. Let's cut to the present day. Pornography consumed all day long by people. Hardcore pornography, horrible pornography, aggressive pornography. It's reached the point where when teenagers have sex for the first time, they try and strangle each other. Is this it? I thought it was going to be more fun than this. And they call it puppy love. Just because we're in our teens. That or were you at?
I didn't know it was clipped into pieces. I didn't know it was like different, like they just meshed a bunch of comedy specials together, which is cool. How they kind of like zigzag between them. Yeah, dude, that's freaking crazy. It's like when he was talking about the whole about all the sex and like the porn and all that jazz. And I read a book on that, man, about like porn addiction. I read books on a lot of addictions. Like I read a book on cigarette addiction, a book on alcohol addiction, porn addiction. There was another one. I'm just curious about like addictions. Like how do you get to that point? And like how can you actually like ultimately like beat them and stuff? The porn addiction one was probably the most interesting one. It was like one of the shortest ones too. They're saying like there's not a lot of statistics and stuff like that. Like there's not a large amount of like focus on it. So a lot of people don't realize how big of a problem it is to have that addiction and how it can how it's been destroying relationships and how people can actually build relationships like they used to because of it. And they're saying like anybody who grew up during the age of streaming porn, like Pornhub and all the jazz, and they had direct access to it as they grew up, they're the ones who were impacted the most. I was lucky where like I grew up where like same thing, it was hard to get porno. Like you had to. I remember like the first porno I got, I found in like the trash. It was like a wet VHS tape. I was like, oh my god, because I was going at it like a caveman, like looking at like pictures and stuff. So it was amazing to me. But like now, like people are like you said, they're so hyper exposed to it, and they can just get access to it right at their fingertips. It's actually damaging people. Showing like how like I guess it ruins like your pleasure center too, and you get like all these triggers and stuff. It's wild, man. It's a wild book. Like where a perfect example is if a kid, it's kind of like the whole what it's called, is it Pavlov's dog? I could be saying it wrong. Where like whenever he rang the bell, the dog will like salivate or whatever, even if he wasn't getting any food. It's the same thing with that when it comes to pornography. So like if you're a kid that whenever, like if you masturbate so much like online porn, most likely you do it like you have a specific location and you have like a routine around it. And even without being addicted, I think everybody has like some type of routine, but like they have it's a routine around it. So like if a kid who's young knows every time like they hear a door close and a car start, like that's the parents leaving, they go masturbate, it automatically triggers that. So like if they're just sitting there watching TV and eating food, the door slams, the car starts, the parent pulls off, they're hardwired to that. So now every time they hear a door slam or key turn, they're constantly driven to go masturbate. So like it becomes a vicious cycle. So yeah, man, this stuff is interesting. This is a really fun show. I know I kind of deviated off to something completely, like not completely different, but somewhat different. But I just thought it was interesting. Him talking about the thing, like it is a serious problem, like real talk. I didn't know anything about the pegging thing. That was funny. About it was like how it was revenge. That was very, very funny, but the rest was good. Alright guys, if you made it this far, it'd be really cool if you subscribe, because I am still on that goal to 100,000 subscribers, and I would definitely like to make it before the end of the year. So hopefully you guys are happy, safe, and healthy, and I'll see you in the next one. Later.